Hello everyone! Pleasant good day to all of you. Ciao! Buongiorno a tutti! Ohayo gozaimashita! Anyan sayo! Buenos dias a todos! Bonjour a tu! Sawadee ka! Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat and welcome back to my channel. For today, I'm going to give you the third part session of my lesson for today for the basic Italian language. For today, let's study and learn the regular infinitive verbs ending in are. Let's learn how to conjugate these regular verbs. And once you learn the rules, it's going to be easy. In Italian infinitive regular verbs, it is done in three categories. Verbs that ends in are, ire, and ere. But we will focus and concentrate first on the verbs that ends in are and how to conjugate them properly and correctly. Well, in Italian infinitive regular verbs, it is done in 6 forms of doing it. We have the first person, second person, and third person with both singular and plural form for each. Now let's start with the examples of regular verbs that ends in are. Now let's all watch this video clip for the rules and how to conjugate these verbs. But before that, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And always hit the bell button to give you more updates and notification of my upcoming videos. So let's all watch this for the rules of the regular verbs and how to conjugate them. Let's all watch this.
Which means to buy. Io compro. Tu compri. Lui compra. Noi compriamo. Voi comprate. Loro comprano. Notice the highlighted letters in each form. For any regular verb ending in are, we just change are to the highlighted letters for the form we want to use. Let's try and do the same for mangiare, which means to eat. Io mangio. Tu mangi. Lei mangia. Noi mangiamo. Voi mangiate. Loro mangiano. Notice that for the second person singular, we might expect 2 I's in a row. So instead, we just drop one. This will be the case for all verbs ending in iare. In fact, the first conjugation is generally quite resolute about keeping the same sound in all forms. So if the new ending would cause a change of sound, we modify the word to maintain the sound. For example, with giocare, which means to play, it's a hard C. When we conjugate, we get io gioco, and then we would get tu giochi. The I turns the C soft. So to keep the hard C, we add an H to get tu giochi. Then it's lui gioca, and then again for noi, we need the H. Noi giochiamo. After that, it's voi giocate and loro giocano. All verbs with a C or G before the ARE will do this. Let's go through some common verbs ending in ARE. Abitare. Arrivare. Aspettare. Ascoltare. Ballare. Cantare. Cercare. Chiamare. Cominciare. Dimenticare. Disegnare. Entrare. Imparare. Insegnare. Lavorare. Nuotare. Pagare. Parlare. pensare, ricordare, studiare, suonare, trovare. With all of these common verbs and our ability to conjugate them, we have greatly expanded our capacity to form basic sentences. Let's try a few. How would you say, we eat spaghetti? Noi mangiamo gli spaghetti. How about Federico swims this evening? Federico nuota stasera. I think you've got the hang of it, so let's check comprehension.
Now let's try parlare. Parlare, to speak. Io parlo, I speak. Tu parli, you speak. Lui, lei parla. He, she speaks. Noi parliamo, we speak. Voi parlate, you speak. Loro parlano, they speak. Now here are some examples. Io parlo italiano. I speak Italian. Tu parli inglese. You speak English. Lui parla cinese. He speaks Chinese. Lei parla coreano. She speaks Korean. Noi parliamo Tagalog. We speak Tagalog. Voi parlate russo. You speak Russian. Loro parlano tedesco. They speak German. Now let's try amare, to love. Amare. Io amo, I love. Tu ami, you love. Lui, lei ama. He, she loves. Noi amiamo, we love. Voi amate, you love. Loro amano, they love. Now let's try some examples. Io amo ballare. I love to dance. Tu ami cantare. You love to sing. Lui ama viaggiare. He loves to travel. Noi amiamo mangiare. We love to eat. Voi amate giocare. You love to play. Loro amano nuotare. They love to swim. Ascoltare, to listen. Io ascolto. I listen. Tu ascolti. You listen. Lui, lei ascolta. He, she listens. Noi ascoltiamo. We listen. Voi ascoltate. You listen. Loro ascoltano. They listen. Now let's try some examples. Io ascolto la musica. I listen to the music. Tu ascolti bene. You listen well. Lui ascolta il suono. He listens to the sound. Noi ascoltiamo la notizia. We listen to the news. Voi ascoltate con attenzione. You listen with attention. Loro ascoltano la musica. They listen to the music. Now let's try another verb. Cercare, to search. Cercare, to search. Io cerco, I search. Tu cerchi, you search. Lui, lei cerca. He, she searches. Noi cerchiamo, we search. Voi cercate, you search. Loro cercano, they search. Cercare, to search. Now let's try trovare, to find. Io trovo, I find. Tu trovi, you find. Lui, lei trova. He, she finds. Noi troviamo, we find. Voi trovate, you find. Loro trovano, they find. Trovare, to find. Now let's try guardare, to look. Guardare. Io guardo, I look. Tu guardi, you look. Lui, lei guarda. He, she looks. Noi guardiamo, we look. Voi guardate, you look. Loro guardano, they look. Guardare, to look. Now let's try pensare, to think. Pensare. Io penso, I think. Tu pensi, you think. Lui, lei pensa. He, she thinks. Noi pensiamo, we think. Voi pensate, you think. Loro pensano, they think. Pensare, to think. Now let's try another one. Let's try camminare, to walk. Camminare. Io cammino, I walk. Tu cammini, you walk. Lui, lei cammina. He, she walks. Noi camminiamo, we walk. Voi camminate, you walk. Loro camminano, they walk. Camminare, to walk. Let's try imparare, to learn. Imparare. Io imparo, I learn. Tu impari, you learn. Lui, lei impara. He, she learns. Noi impariamo, we learn. Voi imparate, you learn. Loro imparano, they learn. Imparare, to learn. And now for the last part of the lessons for the verbs that ends in are, let's try some irregular verbs. Irregular verbs that ends in are like andare, dare, fare, and stare. Now let's try irregular verb andare, to go. Andare. Io vado, I go. Tu vai, you go. Lui, lei va. He, she goes. Noi andiamo, we go. Voi andate, you go. Loro vanno, they go. Andare, to go. Io vado al supermercato. I go at the supermarket. Tu vai in ospedale. You go in the hospital. Lui, lei va al farmacia. He, she goes at the pharmacy. Noi andiamo al mare. We go at the beach. Voi andate in montagna. You go in the mountain. Loro vanno a scuola. They go to the school. They go to the school.
Andare, which means to go. As soon as you begin, you will probably be surprised by how this verb changes, as io vado doesn't resemble the infinitive at all. But the reason behind this is quite simple. Vado derives from a Latin verb that also means to go. Once that is understood, the other forms will look a little friendlier. After io vado, we have tu vai. Lui va. Noi andiamo. Voi andate. Loro vanno. Notice that only the first and second person plural forms resemble the infinitive. The difficulty with this verb is not so much memorizing the forms, but the preposition that is required after. Andare can be followed by in or a or even da, depending on whether the movement describes entering or approaching. The usage of these prepositions is best learned by example rather than rule. So let's go through some common situations. If you are going to a city or a small island, you always use a. Oggi vado a Pisa. Domani vado a Capri. If you are going to a big island, country, or continent, you use in. Oggi vado in Sicilia. Domani vado in Francia. If you are going to see a person, you use da. Ora vado da Vittorio. Domani vado dalla zia. If you are describing your own motion in a vehicle of some kind, you use in. Io vado in treno. Loro vanno in macchina. Io vado in moto. Loro vanno in bicicletta. This only applies to machines, so when walking or riding an animal, we use a. Io vado a cavallo. Loro vanno a piedi. English often uses to go plus an infinitive in order to express a future action, like, next summer I am going to swim in the ocean. Italian doesn't do this. Instead, andare plus an infinitive will simply mean to go to a place in order to be able to do that action. Dove vai? Vado a nuotare in piscina. Vado a mangiare al ristorante. To actually describe the action of swimming or eating, we would need the future tense, which we will learn later. Now that we know how to say that we are going somewhere, let's learn how to say some places where we might be going. Oggi vado in biblioteca. In ufficio. In montagna. In città. In farmacia. In pizzeria. Domani vado a scuola. A casa. Al cinema. All'università. Sabato vado da Grazia. Dallo zio. Dalla nonna. Dal dottore. dal barbiere, dal dentista, dalla parrucchiera. Lastly, there are a few idiomatic meanings for andare. It can sometimes represent functionality. If your car isn't working, you could say, la macchina non va. It could refer to being fashionable. Quel colore non va più di moda. It could refer to how things are proceeding. Come va la scuola? La scuola va benissimo. It could refer to how well clothing fits. Le scarpe mi vanno bene. It could imply a state of being. Lei va pazza per la musica jazz. And lastly, it could refer to cost. Quanto vanno quelle scarpe? Now that we know how to use andare, let's check comprehension.
Now, here's an example of a irregular verb. Dare, to give. Dare, to give. Io do, I give. Tu dai, you give. Lui, lei, dà. He, she gives. Noi diamo, we give. Voi date, you give. Loro danno, they give. Irregular verb, dare, to give. Now let's try fare, to make or to do. Fare. Io faccio, I make. Tu fai, you make. Lui, lei fa. He, she makes. Noi facciamo, we make. Voi fate, you make. Loro fanno, they make. Fare, to make or to do. Fare. Now let's try irregular verb andare, to go. Andare. Io vado, I go. Tu vai, you go. Lui, lei va. He, she goes. Noi andiamo, we go. Voi andate, you go. Loro vanno, they go. Andare, to go. And now for the last one, let's try the irregular verb to be. Stare, stare. Irregular verb, stare, to be. Io sto, I am. Tu stai, you are. Lui, lei sta. He, she is. Noi stiamo, we are. Voi state, you are. Loro stanno, they are. Irregular verb, stare, to be. Another irregular verb of the word stare, another meaning is to stay, stare. Io sto, I stay. Tu stai, you stay. Lui, lei sta. He, she stays. Noi stiamo, we stay. Voi state, you stay. Loro stanno, they stay. Stare, to stay. So, that's all for today. I hope you enjoy and learn some Italian words for my lesson for today. And hope to see you again soon on my next vlog. And thank you so much for always supporting and watching all my videos on my channel. Ciao, arrivederci, grazie mille e buona giornata a tutti.